Want to go over some of the traps that can happen in English opening and when you are playing it asymmetrically. I did actually make a video for symmetrical English opening traps where basically black mirrors the moves that are made by white. You can watch that video also if you're interested, but in this case we are going to look at the more common asymmetrical opening. So let's start it. English opening basically starts as a flank opening c4, and usually the black is trying to get the center, which is great. And you can just develop your knight. That this knight is also developed by black and is defending, and now you develop the other knight. And in this case black is interested in doing fianchettoing their bishop. So what you can do is you can just kind of attack this pawn right away. And let's say the pawn is taken. I mean, you do have options to save your knight, or maybe even just take it with this knight, but in this case we will see a little bit more aggressive option where you just move your knight to safety here, and you kind of ignore having lost a pawn here. So if that happens, black continues with their option of fianchettoing, and yeah, you can just move your bishop here, attacking the queen right away. And let's say they make a mistake of moving their knight here instead of instead of moving their pawn. They probably don't want to move their pawn because then the king side would be too exposed. So let's say they just did that, and if they do that, you have several options. You can just take that pawn, and they have an option to take that knight, essentially either by this knight or the bishop. In this case they decide to take it using the bishop, and what you can do is you can just take it by your queen, and you're essentially sacrificing your queen because this knight can take this queen. So let's say the knight takes the queen, and in this case what you can do is you can just deliver the check by the knight, and then the king only has one square left, and then the bishop can deliver the check, and that's a checkmate. So that's one trap you can try with your opponents in your games. And let me show you one another trap. So we start with the same English opening, and let me flip the board so you can watch it from the white's perspective here. And yeah, so this is pretty standard, attacking this, defending the pawn, bringing the other knight, and white is trying to fianchetto here. And here what can happen is that the black is kind of pinning this knight if this pawn is moved up, but that is not the case here. So white basically decides to save it by moving on this part. It's not really saved, but the pawn can take it. So let's say what happens, there's an exchange, and now you are attacking this particular knight, and they make a more aggressive move coming into the white territory, and that's one option. And what you can do is, instead of taking the knight, you can just take this pawn, which is what happens in this case. Unfortunately, that is not a great move for white because the queen, as you see, can move here, and it is threatening to take this knight. And you can save it by moving your pawn, but then it doesn't save it for too long because then you can attack it. And if it's being attacked, the knight has to move back somewhere. Let's say it just moves back there, and now is a very bad situation for white. Here you can see the queen is threatening to take the rook essentially. So the rook is saved, and black has another great move at this point. They can move the queen here and attacking this rook again once more, and also threatening checkmate from here. So this is actually white is going to lose some material, and that's pretty much what the trap is. So thank you for watching the short screencast, and you have a great day.